Hi, Christian devotional author and speaker Kristi Burchfiel, and today we are continuing our series talking about what it means to be blessed. We're looking at the Beatitudes from Matthew chapter 5. Now if we look through there, we're on verse 5, and today verse 5 says, "Blessed are the humble, for they shall inherit the earth." What an exciting and amazing promise. But I tell you, the words that tend to come to mind when you think of humble, you think of power. A lot of times people think humility is the opposite of power, when in actuality, it's really not the case. Power, for so many people, is something that they want and they strive for. I mean, when you look at the culture, especially here in the United States, it's about what do we need to do to be able to attain power, to gain more power. People who are, said to be, authoritative figures are said to be in power. Humility is oftentimes thought of as being a negative trait to have. Somehow that's weakness. When in actuality, if you look at other translations of the Bible, they translate this verse, some of them say humility, some say gentleness, some say meekness. It's not the opposite of being in power. What humility is talks about how you use power. You see, each and every one of us have a tremendous amount of power. We have the ability to choose what we do on a daily basis, how we're going to spend our time, how we're going to treat people, how we're going to react in situations. And we've been given that power. Well, the situation then becomes, blessed are the humble. How do we use that power? Now, the person who's wanting to be very prideful or very arrogant, they tend to say, well, I'm powerful, and so therefore do what I say. You have the dictators around the world who are desperately trying to attain, their power structure, their country, their whatever. But what you actually find so oftentimes in situations like this is that you have the people who are humble, who are truly saying, I know where my power comes from. I know where my ability comes from. And I'm going to give God the glory for everything that I do and everything I experience. That's what humility says. Now, what do people who are humble gain? It says they inherit the earth. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't we just talking about those dictators and all those people who claim to be in power? That's what they're trying to attain. They want to be able to gain the whole world. They want to be able to gain their piece, their portion of this world here. When in actuality, it's the people who are humble, who are truly the ones who will inherit the earth. If you think about it, those who are in power and trying to attain domination through that, they're constantly on the lookout for somebody who's going to come in and try to steal their power or steal what they have. They're constantly afraid. Whereas those people who recognize that God owns everything, that God is the one that gave us the power that we have, and He's the one who deserves all the credit for everything, have a much simpler way of living. They don't have to constantly be looking over their shoulder wondering who's trying to take what I have, because they know it's not theirs to begin with. If we're truly going to be humble, if we're truly going to understand what it is to recognize that power, we have to realize that only through that, giving up that authority, giving up that power, that's how we truly inherit the earth. Thanks so much for listening. See us next time as we continue our journey through the Beatitudes. Thanks.